All right, before we begin, I want to acknowledge that we gather today on the ancestral homelands of the Lenape people, the original caretakers of this land. The Lenape and other indigenous peoples have long been among the world's first purveyors and stewards of ancient healing medicines. We honor their wisdom, their traditions, and their enduring connection to healing as we carry that spirit forward to learn, to serve, and to help heal our communities at scale. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this historic event at UPENN's Perelman School of Medicine. We'd like to begin in thanking UPenn Philadelic's leadership for the courage and forward thinking in helping us bring this conversation and performance to a truly global audience here in Philadelphia. A personal and special thank you to T. Peterson Wagner, my colleague, friend, and his team for his leadership and friendship in working closely with me to shape up this agenda for this outstanding event. Today is about something much deeper than live art and performance. It's about healing, understanding, and possibility of truly transforming how we think about mental health and human well-being. Introducing a patient's journey, health through psilocybin-assisted therapy. This dramatized story is based on real science, real patient experiences, and a real vision for the future of mental health care. It follows a patient who consults with their physician after conventional treatments for chronic pain, PTSD, anxiety, and depression have failed. What unfolds is a transformative journey through these three foundational stages of psilocybin-assisted therapy: preparation, medicine intake, and integration. These are similar to models currently active in psilocybin service centers in Oregon and healing centers in Colorado, which have been legally operating for over a year now. Other notable progress in this space we see in Arizona has allocated $5 million to study psilocybin. Iowa's House recently passed a measure to legalize its use. New Mexico recognizes psilocybin as medicine, and New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania are now exploring similar frameworks. Compass Pathways has recently announced the acceleration of psilocybin launch timeline by 9 to 12 months for COMP360 for treatment-resistant depression. So there's some momentum globally too. And Germany has launched a compassionate use program for psilocybin. Japan is running its first ever clinical trial for depression with psilocybin, and New Zealand psychiatrists can now prescribe psilocybin. So please imagine when you're watching this play, if the patient in our play were a firefighter, a police officer, a nurse, a family member, or you. Keep that in mind as we watch this play. This resurgence of psychedelics isn't just about individual healing, it's about cultural repair. We are thrilled to introduce tonight's cast, each a real-life expert and advocate. Denise Rule, LCSW, our on-stage therapist, is an actual psilocybin facilitator who has supervised over 1,500 sessions in Jamaica and serves as CEO of the New Jersey Psilocybin Therapy Association. Dr. Jason Connor, our physician, is a professor and practicing doctor at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. And Neal Usatin, portraying our patient, is an award-winning film and television producer, widely recognized for his work on How to Change Your Mind with Michael Pollan. I'm Gaetano Lardieri, co-founder and special executive advisor at Future Entheogenic Medicines and managing partner at Quantum Wellcare, working with Canada Coverage Insurance to integrate these safe, evidence-based therapies into employee health benefits, advance legislation, and expand access for those seeking alternatives to opioids and conventional medicines. Thank you. Nothing in this play nor anything said by the actors, just a disclaimer here, professionals or advocates involves the use of illegal substances. So thank you. We invite you to experience a patient's journey, health through psilocybin-assisted therapy.
We'll start with the first step, certification. Eligible adults 21 and over will receive certification for psilocybin-assisted therapy through a medical professional. So Neal, I hear you tell me you are interested in trying psilocybin-assisted therapy. I've known you for years and I've seen you struggle, and I know you've thought about this a great deal. You don't have any personal or family, first-degree family members with a history of schizophrenia or bipolar. You don't have any history of manic or hypomanic episodes. You're not taking lithium. You don't have a seizure disorder. You're in good cardiac health. We could talk about whether we want to taper some of your psychiatric medicine slowly before doing this, but overall, I think this is a very wise choice for you. I'm comfortable referring you for this therapy, as I have been with many other patients. After receiving the certificate, the patient will be able to select a psilocybin service center for treatment for the second stage of psilocybin-assisted therapy. The manager of the service center, who will be licensed through the state-regulated model, will be another set of trained eyes on the patient to make sure this treatment is the right fit.
Hi, Neal. Nice to meet you. I am Denise Rue. I will be your therapist for your work with psilocybin. Have a seat. Thank you for filling out your intake form. Gave me a lot of information. So I'd like to begin with this preparation session. This is your opportunity to ask me any questions. I'll give you an idea of what your medicine day will look like, and I'll have you sign some forms. But I'd like to ask you now, why are you coming to work with this medicine at this time?
Denise, I've been in therapy since I was a teenager. Been depressed the whole time. I've lost track of how many doctors I've had, how many antidepressants I've been on. At this point, antidepressants work a little bit, but I mostly feel numb all the time. The last thing I tried was ketamine therapy, and it actually worked pretty well. But the benefits didn't really last very long. And I found that the treatment was too expensive to continue. And my insurance won't cover it. So after hearing about the clinical trials, a friend of mine told me about psilocybin, magic mushrooms. I'll tell you, this is something that I thought I'd never try. All those after-school specials and the DARE program when I was growing up actually spooked me. I feel like such an idiot now, But I've done my own research on the internet, and I'm really surprised by the efficacy that's reported in the clinical trials for treatment-resistant depression. So I thought to myself, maybe this could help me. I'm just tired of living like this. And I'm really hopeful that maybe this medicine will help.
Sounds like you've really suffered with depression for a long time. I can honestly say that as a therapist working with individuals with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and a host of other conditions, psilocybin does hold the greatest healing potential of anything I've worked with. It's not a magic pill. And it's not for everyone, but it does help you get to the root of your suffering, and it catalyzes deep healing. So we can talk about your intention for your journey. So another way to put that is, if this treatment works, who will you be on the other side?
That's an interesting question. I haven't thought about it. I guess I would be somebody who's not numb. Somebody who's present in this life. Present for my kids, for my family, even my community. I've just missed so much. I wouldn't be pretending or on autopilot, just flying through endless cloudy skies.
That is a heartfelt intention. So hold that close as you prepare for your journey. Okay, so let's go over what it will be like on the day of your session. Okay, you'll arrive at the service center and you'll take your dose of psilocybin mushrooms. We'll talk about dose today, but generally I recommend 2.5 to 5 grams of dried mushrooms, which is the doses that they use in the clinical trials. You have an option for a booster, but we do cap you at 5 grams, okay? So you'll lay down, use the eye shades, listen to music, and direct your attention inward. It'll take about 30 to 45 minutes for the medicine to come on. We call that the come up. Then you'll be in the peak for 2 to 3 hours, and then another 1 to 2 hours on the come down. So during that experience, your experience will come in waves. And these are some of the things that you might experience: a feeling of lightness, tingling, maybe some mild nausea, even some purging at times. But don't worry, we'll take care of that. And if you feel the urge to purge, you just lean into it, because it usually means an emotional block is coming up. You'll have heightened sensations, perceptions, heightened emotions, and labile emotions. You may be laughing one minute, crying the next, okay? You'll have a sense of dual awareness. So you'll know that you're in the office with me, but you're also in some other realm. So my job is just to create a very safe and supportive setting so you can relax and allow the medicine to lead you where it will. Okay, I'll walk you to the bathroom if you need it. I'll keep you hydrated. And if you hit a rough patch, then I will provide some support and I'll be a hand to hold. So there's a lot of information. How does this all land in you?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Denise, it sounds a little scary. I really hope I don't get nauseous. I hate getting nauseous.
Well, not everyone does. I don't want to put that hypnotic suggestion in there, but it's there.
But at the same time, if this is gonna help with my depression, I'm fucking ready. Excuse my French.
That's certainly okay. Well, I have such faith in this medicine. It's always scary to go into the unknown, but whatever you experience will be designed for your healing and your evolution.
Thank you.
An important part of the preparation process is also the signing of a number of forms, including an informed consent, a safety plan, a designated driver, and a consent for therapeutic touch. Line of a dotted line.
I'll see you on your journey day.
Within a week or two after that, the patient and the facilitator will meet at the service center for the medicine administration session.
Neil,
Hi, Denise.
how are
It's
you
good to see
feeling
you again.
today?
A little nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm here for you every step of the way.
Okay.
Okay. I invite you to sit down on the couch. And we talked about the dose that you're going to have. And so the administrator will deliver the dose to you.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
So whenever you're ready, you can maybe think about your intention for the journey, ingest the mushroom, and then I'm going to invite you to lie down, put on your eye mask, and turn your attention inward.
Here we see the patient after having received his dose of psilocybin mushroom, a natural product, which is obtained from a certified grower and dispensed at the service center by a worker or the chief medical officer. It might come as a whole dried mushroom or in a chocolate or in a tea. During this 5 to 6 hour session, a host of different experiences can arise. Including age regression, types of traumatic release, ego death, or a mystical experience.
Denise, is it
Doing
supposed to
great.
taste like this?
Well done.
I'm not gonna lie, this is awful.
It's true. You should have gone with the chocolates. Would you like a little water?
I think I can do this. I need the water. Thank you.
So I invite you to lie down.
Okay.
And another thing you may experience is temperature fluctuations. So we have plenty of blankets to keep you warm if you need that.
Okay.
Would you like to put on your eye shades? Just begin focusing on your intention, and I'll be right here for you.
The first experience we'll witness deals with age regression.
Oh. Oh, wow. My grandfather's here with me. Oh. Oh, he died when I was 8. I think that was the beginning of me feeling sad all the time. Oh. He loved me so much. Then he was just gone. My dad always told me that I couldn't cry and I should just toughen up. I just had to bury that grief. Oh.
Neil, that must have been so hard. You're doing great. Just stay with that little boy.
The second part will be a type of traumatic release.
Good evening, Neal.
I'm laying by the side of the road. A truck sideswiped me. My car flipped, and I ended up in a ditch. I think I'm gonna die. I was only 18.
Just allow the body to do what it naturally does. It's releasing trauma that has been frozen in there all these years. You're doing great. Just keep allowing the medicine to work.
In the third stage, we witness the ego or sense of self can dissolve, allowing for a profound mystical experience.
I feel like my body's melting. Will you hold my hand? I feel like I can see my own death.
You're doing great. I'm right here. These are parts of you that are melting away that you no longer need. Keep going.
Oh, wow. I feel like everything is connected. Like my consciousness in plants and animals. It's all so beautiful.
After such a powerful experience, the patient is observed for a period of time until he is released to the care of a loved one or a designated driver. Within a week or two, the patient and facilitator will connect to review what has been learned from the experience.
So this will be about a week later when the client comes for the integration session.
We know that in the weeks following psilocybin treatment, the brain has a window of increased neuroplasticity. This is the optimal time for the patient to translate the emotional breakthroughs, cognitive insights, and mystical experiences into concrete behaviors, turning peak states into peak traits.
Well, so nice to see you again.
Thank you, Denise.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Have a seat. So you had some pretty powerful experiences. So in this integration session, this is when we take the cognitive insights, emotional breakthroughs, mystical experiences, and operationalize them into your everyday life. So psilocybin plants the seeds, but it's your job to nurture them. So what's been unfolding for you since your journey?
Well, Denise, I'm really glad that I took your advice and I approached the first week going back to work like I was coming back from surgery. And I'll tell you that it was the best thing I could have done to really just take it easy and process what happened during the journey, and process what's been coming up since. And I'll tell you that one theme that keeps coming up is this theme of connectedness. I keep coming back to that, thinking that we're all connected somehow. I don't know how. It still kind of seems funny to me, but it's powerful, and it's filling me with hope. Yeah.
And that sense of interconnectedness, that sounds like an antidote to the isolation of depression. Yeah. So the other experiences you had, the traumatic release, the ego death, the mystical experience, what has been happening in your body? What has been unfolding?
Well, I can say that it's really led me to this realization that my depression wasn't just a neurochemical glitch in my brain.
Mm.
It was rooted in grief. I was never allowed to mourn the loss of my grandfather, and I had no idea how much that meant to me and how much I was holding on to that. And the car accident, I'll tell you, I hadn't thought about that in decades. That was also just buried, and I just feel so much lighter. I don't know. And what's really interesting, and I'm not sure if we talked about this, but the chronic neck pain that I had since the accident, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of it, but just overall, it just feels so much lighter.
Yeah.
And what's more is I just have so much compassion for myself, for what I was holding on to for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you.
Don't thank me. You did all the work. We thank the mushroom. So you've had you got to the root of your depression. You had this tremendous traumatic release. So continue to just observe how things feel in your body. And this embodied sense of self-compassion, which usually relates to compassion for others. You really had a powerful, powerful experience. And I really look forward to seeing how it unfolds in the weeks and months to come.
It really was an incredibly powerful experience. And I want to share with you that it has been one of the most meaningful experiences of my life.
That's not uncommon to hear someone say that.
So that might sound like hyperbole. One of the most meaningful experiences of my life. But I can share with you, as a father, that it's true. From my experience, outside of this play, this demonstration, clinical trials, studies, many participants are demonstrating and reporting that it is one of the most meaningful experiences of their life, on par with the birth of their children, or in my case, the birth of my 3 children.
You've just You've just witnessed just one patient's journey through the psilocybin-assisted therapy process. This type of experience can and frequently does lead to profound and sustained positive changes in how people view themselves and the world, and how they show up in life. Modern clinical trials have demonstrated remarkable effects of mushrooms for some of our most vexing human conditions, including refractory depression and PTSD, addiction to narcotics, alcohol, and tobacco, eating disorders, cluster headaches, and existential distress in people with terminal cancer. We're currently experiencing unprecedented mental health crisis, with depression alone affecting up to 30% of Americans. An average of over 17 veterans die from suicide every day. Standard psychiatric medicines, though costing billions, have proven themselves inadequate to meet the needs of millions of people who are still suffering. Psychedelics instill fear in many and often become enmeshed in political debates and social stigmas. They've been maligned by government and religious institutions and have been banned for reasons that in reality have absolutely nothing to do with concern for personal or public health. Tim Leary once said, "Psychedelics are substances that occasionally cause psychosis in people who have never tried them." It is our birthright to connect with nature and explore the realms of our own consciousness, and it is an ethical imperative that we safely and carefully steward psychedelics to bring legal access to healing for an ailing world. Thank you so much for your support.